my viewers. Woo! I'm on my daily routine. Focus back on my weight, my ideal weight loss, my ideal weight control. Yep, most find a good motive because I know plastic surgery is waiting for us, and that's not bad, but we must get the hanging, those hanging skin, hanging bellies, and then probably, we could get the plastic surgery that we dream, and it's less risky, I would say, because if you haven't used to the good habit of healthy eating, I think we are damaged ourselves. I have met people that they have go to the plastic surgery and they didn't conclude the motherhood. Then they got pregnant again after the surgery, and then they gained weight. And plastic surgeries are very expensive. But what happened is that we are confronting ourselves with our own, trying to get rid of debts. At least myself, 56 years old, and trying to get my equity to be compromised and a debt again. No. At 56 years old, they must revise. But they don't want to. What we can do, we have to keep acting pacifically. And let them, when they get to them, that they need to revise it, they're going to revise it. That's what I say, 50 years old. After 50 years old, you don't have the whole life to pay a debt, pay credit cards or pay loans. And okay, we don't want to revise it that way. There's another option. Medical bills. I think they're revising medical bills because medical bills be one of those that I put in bondage of debt to people. I think they are paying medical bills for those that they cannot afford it. Okay, so that's gone. They're gonna keep the private insurances and the co-payments and deductibles. It will be less burden for Medicare, which is the government help. And the people, which is all ourselves, the consumers, we will have to put up with medical bills given to the bankruptcy, right? Because bankruptcy it stinks. Bankruptcy, when you have bankruptcy and your credit history, some people doesn't want to do business with, because I've been there. Okay, we can give you an air conditioning the time that we want the air conditioning, but you must have I don't know what they said, but you cannot have a bankruptcy. And I go, no, we don't. Okay, perfect. When we don't have bankruptcy, they let us they bring us the air conditioning. There was a way to it. That was an emergency. We didn't have no backup insurance with the energy company. I think they do now, because my energy bill went to $800 a month. That month when my air conditioner got broken. Okay, and we didn't have no credit, because back in 2008 there was a depression, real estate, and other areas, and the economy went very bad. I heard it was recession when I was one of my classes on the psychology book. They said there was a depression, and no, I told my husband that we were in a recession. I go, really? Okay, so now we had that. Another way I have said that we could improve. They don't want me here. I want to be here. One day, I'm already prepared. I'm a 56 years old person. And after the pandemic, we all can not be here on Earth anymore. This is the way I want to be. I want to be able to have the generation, the future generations, which is our children, our grandchildren, not being in bondage that we've been suffering at this moment. Many rich people, they're not rich anymore. And they were, at one point, some of them, take their own life. We don't want that. This is not matter about religions, belief, or political party. It's about humans. It's about creation. It's about ourselves loving each other. Okay, and then mortgages and banks that we still owe the mortgage. I've been saying another concept that we've been in bondage of debt is constructions. Mostly women make her house beautiful. Some of them are being pulling from suddenly from one and put it in a beauty without knowing the restoration that is inside of every person. A person wants to edify because that's creation's natural. That's why we want to do this type of construction at one point. We want to do, if it gets broken, then we want to repair all. That's when we want to get involved in construction, but constructions are very expensive. Then constructions is when physically, I'm not saying inside is another subject, the souls, but we have to combine them. If we don't combine them, we won't be able to move more after the pandemic. We combine our inner spirit in holiness, because if those that doesn't want to include their holiness, eventually they will, because they won't be able to reach happiness, because when you're not in holiness, it hurts. It hurts, and we are women are very sensible. We want faithfulness from a man. Natures from evolution? I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. We're not animals. Men are not animals, but they will find a way to overcome their weaknesses, right? So it's individual thing. We cannot force nobody. No, we cannot force them. We cannot force a woman think differently and things like that. So now, when you have a new meaning in your life, you must know that we had to combine the different areas of our life. We had to combine our spiritual with our physical. Well, okay, if it doesn't go, then we need help. We had to go help where we need it. If we get focused in there, eventually we will find our equilibrium. Okay, I'm thinking mortgages company must pay, not only when investments, because we have credit on our income taxes. When our income taxes are made, you can deduct all those expenses from your investments, real estate. But that's money that you have to pull out from your own pocket. Usually I am thinking you can afford it and it haven't bothered you, but regular people, working hard people, cannot afford the maintenance of the house that requires a remodeling, or that must be done with the mortgage company, because they're the one who owns the house. The incentive they give it to them for the things, not to the consumer, regardless if they use it on their own house. So see, that's what I'm saying. We have to speak up. We cannot be quiet. I think no, we can't. No, we have to speak up for our own future generations. And when we speak up, if they cut it, if they can fight for it, they will be a much better situation than what we've been through. Because at this time, if I'm still on debt, I had to analyze what happened. Of course, our behavior. You see, I don't think we had to sacrifice purchasing power of purchasing. If we be neglected on our homes and we are becoming hoarders, then it's okay that we can stop and declare our house. Why we're gonna avoid a reality? But yeah, we already did that. Okay, no problem. Now we have to focus on gaining purchasing power. And the purchasing power not necessarily has to be money. It could be an equivalency. If they, but it has to be money, some of them. but not all of them. That's what I'm saying. But we have, I said, we could have Aztecs code. If they don't want to give us money, there's systems. They don't want to give money. They rather do gift cards. They had to do it. They had to got, but some other systems deny 100% that they call presents. There are no presents. If you are working hard in one area, in that area is something that you need to have expenses for the same area. Then what I'm doing, I say, okay, if we cannot change it, then we have to see ways that we can survive without, like, okay, let's see if I can survive without spending. No problem. I'm gonna start focusing in the areas that I don't need to spend money, and it probably, eventually, it will get to me the things that I want to be done. See, this is the thinking that I want to get rid of. I'm a part of a community that they quotation mark looks for the way the community looks. However, it seems like a pandemic have left people with no money, because look at this. This is a park that it needs to be mowing the grass. This is a park that someone needs to pick up all of it. Well, it seems if they don't have money, they must start calling the communities and the boards in a different way, in a way that they can be part of something if they don't have money, or if we don't want our monthly payment of the association be erased, things like that. But I don't know. It seems like nobody cares, and we are looking for the money and places that it's already obsolete to look for them. I'm gonna keep fighting for my house. So, okay. I'm gonna become a problem solver thinker, and okay, if the banks pay for I have a big project at home. I didn't have a solution of property or real estate for descendants. And I want to sit with the bank, and I said, I want you to pay for this, and I would like you to add it on the end of the mortgage. I want you to hire the architects and engineers and do the remodelations that I want to do to my house. An example. And I don't want to pay right now. I don't want to be added to my mortgage payment. I want you banks pay for it if you have the money. And then I like to work with banks, and I tell you the reason why. Because when I know what is not having a source of money for things that we need. Education. That was an example. That was my first encounter with not having money and not selling my body for money. What would be my choice? Oh, well, there was no bank. I didn't know. There was banks. My dad has bank accounts. He never told me that we could open a bank account when we got a job. No, he never told me that. Maybe he was going to. He forgot. I don't know. Then before he's getting his office, or his work, that he was doing some type of union. I'm not a union girl. Don't take me wrong. I admire those in union, but I am not a union girl. Union person is move people and go and they fight for something, if that's what union calls. But I'm not part of a group at all. But I admire those people that fight for things that they think they're supposed to have it. And let me tell you, my dad was one of them. They fight for dental, health insurance for the group of the people, the group that he was handling. and he has bank accounts, and but I didn't know about it. I was too young, and I didn't ask. I felt that I had to be on my own. I never asked my parents for the first semester of the tuition. They pay it. After that, it seems like I couldn't afford it anymore. I don't know. That's what the impression that I had. Then I said, I need to pay for this. Then I found the ways. I found scholarship, but I still had to pay on my own. There was people that lent money. I didn't have to do, just ask the person, and it was an advance. And it was an interest or fee that she used. We call usureros. And I said, the Bible is against that. That's why I'm okay with the banks, in a sense. And I'm also supported the government. I think the government does a good job when they want to, then when they help the children to get educated and the mothers to bring food at home. I think they're doing a great job. I like the stimulus check. I support the stimulus check. I am glad that they have like a maximum of limit of income, because they are $73,000, $76,000. You no longer qualify for the stimulus check, and I like it because I said you don't have to be poor all life with $73,000. $73,000 is a very decent money, and in one house, I believe, less than $73,000 or up to $73,000. But if a person can do more, that will be getting more than the line of government help. Because back on my days, government help didn't look good. Then I am glad I was not part of it, because I saw people with bad credit didn't care about, and they didn't move forward. And I would say they should have a program that help people to move forward and only be limited to those people that really need it. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't. I see it that way. So I like the stimulus. I think if you put money on hands of the people, they will create ways to become wealthier, and they don't have to be doing crimes. That's my impression. That's why I support the stimulus check. I support the stimulus check and everywhere, in every language. If they can implement it in different names, it is okay, but they must have it. They must have it. When you put money in people's hand, it's yourself. They probably have other type of incentive or stimulus after the $73,000 yearly income. They probably have it. I don't know. I'm saying, okay, what are the statistically the concept that make us bondage in debt? Medical bills. It seems like they already got it with the medical bills. Hopefully, when we don't need to go and apply for but we all can be encouraged from work to have a private insurance. Because I told them, having the government insurance, it must be at workplaces, but they didn't have that. It seems that private company doesn't want government insurance as an option in there. That's the impression that I have. I'm going to say is that's what it is, because I know if my health insurance wouldn't be from my husband's work, or when at the time I was working, I was the one paying the health insurance, and I added my husband, because that's what marriage are for. I was the one at the beginning giving a hand of citizenship or health insurance for the family and work. But then when he got up and had the children, then we had to get different roles. And then I went to the schools, and I built up my children's academic history. And then what I'm saying is that we already got that, and the other one is constructions. If constructions are making us advantage of that, let's make the mortgage company. How are you? God. Yeah. Good. So, and okay, and they will be the ones because then they will can hire people. See, now that we have architects and engineers working with banks. Maybe some of them don't have now a workplace. We don't know. Pandemic, we are regaining the workplace environment in area, and then they hire in these houses like mine. They are very potential to add a perfectly well constructed. I already gave them the drawings, the survey to one of the company a long time ago. And we can do it for descendants. The kids doesn't have to spend that much money and being away from parents. Because I heard doing the research of hoarding causes, one of the causes is when the children's not at home anymore. Then they went away from home. That we wanted for them to become independent, but it didn't help for all of them. Some of them did great, and all of them did great, but when they come back home, they saw the parents covered and hoarding and in very, very conditions that are very sad. They wanted to get involved back with the parents because they were losing their properties. I saw every TV program because I am thinking that we had to see what is the causes of things that we could pray and God help us, because I told you there's some things that we cannot do without Him. So now we could think that the banks can take over with that, because I think I like it. I like when you do the credit thing. You don't know better, and you have a job, and then you start finishing and graduating, and then you're graduating, you're at the same time working, and then you got promoted a job and you got this much money, and then you want to become independent, young person. And I said, well, some of them doesn't feel comfortable in their houses. They don't have their private room for them. That's something that we have to look for. Our kids gonna grow, gonna be bigger, and the kids want to have their own room. If you have the kids now little, because I'm not a minimalized person. I came to the United States, and I came from my house, and my house when I was a kid was an equivalent of 5-bedroom with an apartment on the side. My mom built and my dad. And I started from one room, and then I went to roommates, and then I went to a 1-bedroom apartment, and then I got married, and then my husband and I shared two bedrooms, duplex house with 1 bath. And from there, we came to our house for over 2 decades that we are planning to keep. At least that's suddenly that some people has, and they didn't conclude the things that they started. They didn't know what restoration is. They don't know what the essence of life, because they got pulled from this, and they got suddenly on a mansion that they probably had a dream of, and they didn't enjoy the desire to pull many from the hole of darkness. If you are one of those, just think about it. You don't have to spend that much money becoming independent if you are with your parents. You could start right there, paying your parents. If you don't feel comfortable with your parents, then you want to share with a roommate. I don't know. I would say if you're a girl, if you're inside your parents, regardless how independent you already got because you graduated and you had 2 jobs, or some of them don't have, when you have a guy that likes you, if he sees, this is something that we cannot avoid. This is true. He sees parents protecting that little girl. Because remember, now you be grandparents. That grandparent had a little girl or little boy, but let's talk about the little girl's treasures, right? You don't want nobody to come and do whatever they want with that little girl. Believe me. So you that little girl, if you stay with your parents, when that man comes and asks the parents for you, he probably had to work 7 years, just like one of those did it. He probably had to do this. He probably had to do that. And let me tell you, if he sees that, chances are that he is going, you know what? He's gonna make you worth it. So you do that. You do that. You stay with your parents, and I know we want to do things because I do too, but I already married. My husband tells me, and still I said, okay, let's see what the Word of God says. And when he's not on the Word of God, then you have the Word of God. Okay? So, this is my suggestion for today. You can be worthier if you have the Word of God with you, regardless if you're married or not. And think about the solutions that we have. And I'm glad that I'm doing this video because time passed, and let's see that they overcome, they don't care. And just think about Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus. He was one of the one nobody listened to him. But that God makes him to realize that he was right. You know, we don't have to wait that many years. We don't have to waste that many years of our life to realize that we can make this earth much better to habitate for all of us. Okay? And let's see those that do what I say, there's gonna be leaders on the whole world. And when you are leaders, because you are listening to what I'm saying, and let nobody else to envy, because you're gonna do exactly what I say. You're gonna get the banks that doing. You're not gonna get the abundance of people. The young generation can still have it the way they want. Start the way we had it. Store cars first. Build out some type of credibility. Car payments, if they want to. If they have a better way, because see, that's the only thing I know. I don't know about investments and stock market. If you guys already know and you know about that part, then you are with another group. You are in a group of people that don't know better. We don't know about stock market. I know a little. I won't go investment if I don't know something. You don't have to pay a price. People won't give you. Now with the YouTube, it is okay. With people are doing the videos, what they have, and other people that they know more. And then we have this YouTube videos for everything. Thank God. And we don't pay for it, but somebody else pay for it, and I like that because we like certifications and payments, and mostly now that we're looking for different sources of income. So now you take notes how many inventions from my household I've been getting and why I'm supposed to be not there anymore. Then if I don't, then I still have, I said, well, I can choose. If I don't have to stay at home, I still choose being a grandmother and be from 5 to on the work field. But I already have my fixed income. My husband signed my check because I don't care. Some women doesn't feel good, then don't do it. I feel okay, my husband signed my check. I decided what to do with it. For every area of the household, if I want to. And then, you know, this is a particular household. Your household is now, it's your household. Nobody else's household. It is not the White House. It is not the church house. It's your household. it's yours. If it's too many years and then you get rid of things and start from scratch and your finances, if that's what you're supposed to do, I don't know, but you fight. You fight because nobody can come and say, hey, you have, no. We have to have respect from each other. And then we regret. We have people that are, and then they go somewhere else. And they wondering, wow, why they couldn't pay you this? And then they make arrangements from people, and other people gets the honor that they're supposed to have. Well, you speak up, whatever it is, never use bad words, and you see there is way that they can be changed. I pass it to you if in case that I cannot be part of it. You fight for it. You fight for not being in bondage of debt. However, you can start the way that we normally did. Store cards, build that credibility, car payments, and then you'll be able to qualify for a mortgage, because somebody else will tell you differently. At least you know other things that I don't know. Then don't be part of this group, which is, I would say, there's people that doing the same amount of money for a car payment. They put it on, I heard, investments. I wouldn't go there yet, because if I'm doing the baby steps somehow, I'm not there yet. See? Well, if you want me to be in there, then, I wasn't a baby step 1, not anymore. I spend the money on the mortgage. I had $1,000 for emergency fund. I took my emergency fund and I pay my mortgage on time. I do my supplements, alternative medicine. I didn't go in an emergency room at the hospital. I invested on my well control, ideal well control management with doctor supervision. Okay, I give you all. This is all I have. Maybe I have a couple more, but it is hard. You can transfer some type of knowledge or revelations to everybody, because it's something that you need to see. It is at one point. If you don't do it that way, you have to be in the field, and you have to exercise your own critical thinking, your own ways to. Because if you do exactly what the other people saying, it's not what I want. Because you have variance. You have different. Just like I heard yesterday, life is a science experiment, and you see in every science experiment all those things that we encounter, regardless, too many influences, our geographical area, backgrounds, culture, and if we have to, like I say, okay, let's see. I love this part and I agree, but if I'm a grandmother, I'm becoming a grandmother, I'd rather get rid of this that actually become from the passion of when you are very young, and I'm not that young anymore. Then I'm gonna put my focus on the grandparents' hood, regardless if I will, because there are gonna be another little babies, just in case, because we never know. You know how kids are. Oh, I don't want nobody to raise my kid but me. Okay, you go and raise your kid. I'm glad that you take that decision. But let's see, you find in a way a person that really needs help with a little baby, and your own kids doesn't want you to raise the little baby. An example. I'm just saying an example. I know it's not that, but we never know. Just be prepared for everything and then keep going. If the kids, okay, you do it for them, but if it's another kid, they're the one. They're the one. They're the one. Because now a grandparent is a qualified parent. It's most qualified parent, because you can do things that you didn't do it when you had a little baby. that you could do like me. I tell you, I will never take out my other son from sport to be passionate for something else because the priority was not in ourselves. Now I have an overweight, extremely overweight kid because it was not part of the sport. Sport has to be there. But it also has to have the feeding of the spirit. But you have little kids, don't get passionate with other things but your little children. Believe me. If not, then you will have, problems with your own children when you're supposed to be out there doing what you didn't do when you're supposed to. Okay, so I hope you understand that sometimes we have priorities, and our priorities start from home. If your home is your priority, one day it will be, because then life will take back to your home. Okay? My home is with my children and my grandchildren and my husband. Okay? Just to let you know. Thank you very much, because when you got married, your priorities change, and they must know that. Everybody must know that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I am glad speaking up could clarify some other people will for your life, which is not bad at all, but priorities are priorities. Thank you. God bless you.